Hey, what's up everybody? Spicci here with another video. Today, well, I was trying to choose what video to do. I had all these different ones planned. And I decided that I don't think that a lot of you people, unless you know me personally, know my background in the hobby. So I figured I would start this video by telling you a little bit about it. So I've been selling on eBay since 1999. It's the first time I went to college. And I didn't even have an email address, but I started an email address specifically so I could sell cards on eBay. Now this is back before you even put pictures of your cards up on eBay. So to give you an idea, it's very different back then. And I sold everything. I mean, everything I listed would sell. And it actually got to the point where my mom was asking me, because this is before PayPal, my mom asked me, she says, Jay, she's like, are you doing something illegal? And I said, what do you mean, Mom? She goes, well, you get all this money every single day in the post office box. She goes, I just want to make sure that you're not doing. She's like, I'm not going to be mad at you. I'm not going to criticize you. You know, however that means, but we are going to talk about it afterwards if I am. But she's like, I just need to know. And she's like, because you're bringing in more money than your dad, and my dad worked for the railroad. So I said, no, Mom. I said, it's this new thing on the internet. Oh, and mind you, we didn't have a computer ever. We never had a computer. So I was doing all my eBay in between my classes in the computer lab at my college. So anyways, I told her about this internet thing because we weren't too familiar with it. I said, yeah, there's internet thing where you can communicate with people and blah, blah, blah. And it's this auction site where you can sell stuff. Anyways, long story short, I was bringing in, my post office box was filled with envelopes full of money because there was no PayPal back then. So I was getting cash, checks, money orders, the whole 9 yards. Anyway, so I started 20 years ago. This is my 20th year, and I've had as much as, I don't know, 10,000 items up for sale on eBay, and I've had as little as 50, 60, or usually I have, I have quite a few, but I've been kind of slacking lately because I've been so busy with so many other things that I've been selling, but I haven't been posting anything. So I just thought I'd give you a quick look at some of the stuff I have for sale here. I mean, look at this. I only have 39 items, and you'll see these prices. Some of them might look a little high, but that's because I'm just trying to encourage somebody to make an offer, hopefully a reasonable offer. I sometimes, when stuff sits for too long. Oh, and that's another reason why there's not a lot on here. Sometimes when things have been on here for 6 months and they're not selling, I just send everything to auction, start everything at 99 cents, let it fly, let it sell for what it does, and then I just start fresh. So this is a result of me selling a whole bunch and not posting a lot. Alright guys, sorry if there's a little delay there. I had to restart the video because I was scrolling through these and things were coming up blurry, so I'll try to catch it if they get blurry. But anyways, let's take a look at these auctions. Sorry, these are all buy it now, fixed price. So, you get that right there. It's horrible. It's a freaking 7. But it's just on there in case anybody's looking for a John Franklin. Yeah, sorry, my phone is not wanting to cooperate here. But there you go. You got the girly 101 rookie right there. Then you got some nice vintage. And you got a Acuna rookie numbered out of 50 autograph. That was selling for a lot more. I haven't gone on to lower the price. Then you got some just some vintage stars, Hall of Famers, and rookies. Just fun stuff. And I've got tons and tons and tons of this stuff. Tons of vintage stars and Hall of Famers. So I'll slowly put those on. I bring them to my shows. I put them in my 75% off box, stuff like that. Here's a nice Elgin Baylor autograph, numbered out of 5. Let's see. That Warren Moon's numbered out of 5, I believe. That Rod Woodson's numbered out of 5. Sorry, right there. And some more vintage. Nice Vic Auto out of 100. LaDainian Tomlinson out of 49. Lynn Swan's last card. There's another Moon out of 5. Let's see. Looks like it seems to not be getting blurry if I go at this rate right here. And don't worry, this won't take long. These are some PSA cards I sent in and got graded, like the Detlef rookie to come back an 8. Probably because of centering, because it's sharp as an arrow. And anyways, you get the idea. So anyways, so there's that. Here's my eBay user ID. It's just JR Spicci, JRSPICCI. right there at the top. I had over, you see my feedback here, those are my different positives. I had over 10,000 feedback a while back, and I probably had more like, I don't know, the actual number of positive feedback I had would have been a lot higher, but they only count one for each different. I think they only counted for one per buyer. So I imagine I had a lot more because I sold lots of multiple things, you know, because I combine shipping. I usually sell stuff cheap. People will buy multiples. But anyways, I got hacked and I had to start my whole freaking account again, so that was really stupid. Alright, so there's my eBay. And then I also wanted to take a minute and give a big shout out to this guy here. This is Dan. He lives out here in Utah, not too far from me. Hard R Cards. I just wanted to encourage everybody to subscribe to him. He has, honestly, it's one of the most entertaining channels as far as I'm concerned. He's very funny. He uses lots of vulgar language, and it's just hilarious. And there'll be times I'm sitting here watching his videos, and I will just kind of yell out loud in laughter with some of the things that he says. But I know I don't have a lot of subscribers, but if you guys could go over and subscribe to Dan, me and him are both trying to, you know, get as many subscribers as we can, build our YouTube channel, and then just do, you know, more and more for you guys. So the purpose of this video is education. So I spend all this time opening boxes and blah blah blah, and I'm a vessel full of useless baseball card knowledge. I say useless, but other people seem to be able to use it. And I thought, you know, I've never done like an educational video. So I said, let's turn off this light and get a little better picture. Let's do an educational video. Sorry, there's a mosquito right there. I want to teach you guys and just help you out with not wasting your money, not losing money, not overpaying for things, so on and so forth. So today's video is going to be about what not to buy, why not to buy it, and these are going to be examples. So the grading card market is a wonderful market, and people always get deceived if they don't have a lot of knowledge in it. So I've been getting cards graded for over 20 years now, and I do probably, I don't know, 3,500 to 4,000 cards a year. I only use PSA. I'm aware of, obviously, of all of the stuff that's going on right now with PWCC, and it doesn't scare me off. Whatever. Hopefully those guys get dealt with, whoever was involved. Hopefully they lose their jobs, but I'm not going to stop getting my cards graded by PSA. So again, purpose of this video is education. So right here you got Jim, okay? Jim Grading Company. If you're not familiar with the crap grading companies and the ones who are recognized in the hobby as being the best, you're not going to know that Jim is a horrible company, and you might overpay for a card. So here I have a friend of mine posted 10 cards that he cracked that were not PSA. He cracked them and resubmitted them to PSA, and here's the difference in grades. So this Gem 10 86 Flare Update Barry Bonds came back a 7. Just to give you an idea, a Gem Mint from Gem came back a 7. Okay, so some poor schmuck sees a Gem Mint 10, sees what PSA 10s are going for, and maybe they get it for half that price. That's going to be overpaying horribly, because you know the card is probably not a Gem Mint 10, and if you pay half of that price, you think you're getting a great deal, but really you are just way overpaying, because this card in a 7 isn't worth paying. You know, I mean, realistically, it's what, maybe $5 card, $7 card. You know, if you're at my table at a show, that's what you're gonna get it for. $5, $7, $8, I don't know, it depends. But it's gonna be a lot less than a Gem Mint 10. So there you go. That 10 came back a 7. Let's look at card number 2. Okay, Rob Gronkowski. So this one was graded BCCG, which is Beckett Collectors Club Grading. I did a lot of this stuff back in the day when they first came out. They charged me $2 a card. I got several hundred cards graded, lots of 10s. Okay, a 10 in this means it's going to be a mint or better, they say. Okay, so this card came back a mint, as you can see right here. Okay, great. So that one was pretty accurate, but that doesn't mean that they're all accurate. Okay, So you got to look at the fine print here, you know. A 10 is mint or better. It's not a gem mint. A 9 in that is a near mint or better, which would be equivalent to a PSA 7 or better. Okay? So there's the BCCG. Next one, another gem. So here you go. You got an 86 Topps Traded Barry Bonds rookie. And they gave this one, well, let's take a look here. So this one was a 10 gem mint. And this one, oh, so I'm sorry. So this one was gem. Okay, same logo, Gem Grading Incorporated, 10 gem mint. They must have changed it to Gem Elite, same logo. So I'm not sure what's going on there. But this one is a 10 Pristine. Okay, not to be confused with the Beckett Pristine, BGS Pristine, which is their version of a, you know, flawless card. All 4 subgrades have to be 9.5 or better, etc., etc. So this one came back a PSA 9. Okay, so this one they must have thought was pretty exceptional, but it's still not a Gem Mint 10. Why? I'm going to guess top to bottom centering, because the top looks way too skinny. So you can see here on the sides, it should be pretty close to that width on top. So anyways, that one's not a 10. It came back a 9. Huge difference in price, guys. Huge difference in price. Okay, next one, BCCG Jerry Rice. Okay, so I told you on the last BCCG it was pretty accurate. This one, they called this one a mint or better. Okay, PSA says, no sir, this one is 7, a near mint. Huge difference. If you would have paid 9 price on this, you're talking, I think the 9s are in, well, it's in the several $100 range. I think it's like, I haven't done my homework on the current market report on these, but I think a 9's a few $100, $300-400. So if you would have bought this thing like it was a 9, or if you would have paid half that price, half of a 9, maybe you paid $150-200, you still would have lost a ton of money, because a 7 of this card is probably $40, I think, current market value. So there you go. That's Beckett, guys. Beckett Collector Club Grading. I don't know why they did this. It is the worst idea that they've ever had. Anyways, there you go. You know, because if you're going to grade a card, I want to know what the heck the grade it is. So, and they have BGS, you know, so I don't know why they're doing that. Okay, a Gem Elite 10 Pristine. So this is an A-Rod 94 SP foil, and this one came back minimum size requirement. It did not meet the minimum size requirement. So that means that this card, when it was manufactured, the size of it was slightly smaller, or it was slightly different than it was supposed to be. It was slightly smaller, I believe, is what minimum size requirement is. It did not meet minimum size requirement, so it wasn't big enough. So this thing was just cut slightly smaller, and PSA will not grade them. But if you sent this card to Beckett, BGS, they would grade it. So there you go. When you buy BGS cards, now I like some things about Beckett. I like their holders, but they'll grade cards that are, you know, that don't meet minimum size requirements. And everybody's gonna have an argument about that. You know, I don't really care if the manufacturers made it. I mean, we are talking so small that I've measured cards that came back minimum size requirement, and I couldn't see a difference in size. So I don't know what they see, but this one is apparently slightly smaller. So I'm okay with these cards graded if I got them by Beckett, but I don't know. PSA won't grade them. So anyways, this card didn't meet the minimum size requirement, so it was too small, slightly. Next one, BCCG again, 1990 Topps Traded Emmitt Smith, 10 mint or better. Okay, this one they got right, guys. This one is at least a mint. Not better, but it's at least a mint, like they say. So again, if somebody didn't know that this was mint or better, and they paid for like a BGS 9.5 or a, well, not that wouldn't even be the same price as a PSA 10, but if they bought this like a PSA 10, saw prices for PSA 10s, or even if they bought it for half that, again, a 9 in this right here is really, it's really just like a $10 card. So please do here are all issued in factory sets, so they should all be 10s, but the thing that holds these ones back is always the centering. Next one, Gem Elite 10 Pristine, opening day. Okay, this isn't the error, the Johnny Ray error. This is the correct version. Barry Bonds rookie, looks pretty good all the way around to me, in the bad picture, but it's an 8. So big difference. This card in a PSA 10 is big money, and an 8, it's essentially a $10 card. No more than 10 bucks. Okay, BCCG Robin Yount. This one's a near mint or better. Okay, a 9 near mint or better, and they hit the nail on the head with this one. This one came back a 7. But again, if somebody would have bought this, saw that 9, bought it like a 9 instead of like the 7 or better that it says it is, they would have lost a ton of money, because a 9 in this card here is several $100, and the 7 is the 7's not bad. I think the 7's about 100 and a quarter maybe, without doing any homework on it. That's a guesstimate, but it's probably in that ballpark. Okay, next one, 82 Topps Cal Ripken Jr. 10 mint or better, and this one was not mint. This one was an 8. So if you bought this one like a mint, you would have lost money. If you bought this one like a 10, you would have lost a ton of money, because this card here and an 8 I think is about in the $40 range. Okay, let's see. Next one, Barry Sanders. This one was a 10 mint or better, and this one was the first one that actually got the or better grade. This one actually came back a gem mint 10, so that is freaking awesome. So BCCG, if you would have bought this one you know, at a lower value than a mint or better, you would have done real well if you sent it back in and got a 10, because a 10 in this card is I think it's in the geez, I don't know, guys. I should have looked these up before. I should have seen what the current market value is. It's probably in the $250 range, you know, and we can take a look and see what they're going for afterwards, or you guys can go look at sold auctions. But a 10, so that would there have been the first one where you actually made some money. You know, let's go over here and let's see, just for fun, what these are going for. Let's see, 1989 score, Barry Sanders, PSA 10. Let's see. I'll go to sold. Sorry, my internet is kind of slow. I'm out in the back, my back shed right. Oh shoot, it's looking up under me. I'm gonna score Barry Sanders. PSA 10. Let's go. See what these are going for. So if this one, if you would have bought a BCCG 10, you would have done pretty good. Okay, 46 listings. Let's check from high to low. Oh, look at that. I am not far off. I'm usually not far off, but I don't like to tell you this is what it's selling for. Those are all signed ones. Okay, so let's see. There's one that went for buy it now at $350. That's somebody who has a lot of money, just wants to own the card and doesn't try to get it any less. So there's some in the $350 range, and I'm sure that they're going to sell in the $250 range too. Let's see. Yeah, so it's about a yeah, $250 to $350. I'd say it's roughly a $300 card, realistic value. So yeah, I said $250. That's the starting point. So yeah. So if you would have bought that thing, let's see what BCCG 10s are going for. Alright, just for fun and see the difference here. BCCG 10. So let's see what you would have bought it for if you bought it on eBay. And again, my internet's a little slow, but that's okay. Come on, man, let's go. Alright, BCCG 10, 3 of them. Okay, this one right here went for $89.90, and that was with 3 rookies. $51, $50. Okay, so all the other examples you would have lost your shirt. On this example, you could have done very, very well. But at the same time, that 10 could have came back an 8, and an 8 is probably in the $40 range. So I hope this video helped you out, guys. I really do. Hope it gives you a little bit of an idea of what to look for, what not to. In closing, I'm just going to say this. SGC, BGS, and PSA. Those are the only 3 grading companies that you should be investing your money in. SGC is a great company. BGS is a great grading company. PSA is. Here's the difference. PSA brings generally bring a lot stronger money, and sometimes double, or at least 75% of PSA is what BGS will bring. SGC is about the same. They're kind of back and forth. SGC, sometimes they bring a little more, sometimes a little bit less, or sometimes equal to Beckett. But if you're going to buy a card, make sure it says BGS, SGC, or PSA. But make sure that you're paying accordingly. Do your homework. See what PSA 10s are going for. See what BGS 95s are going for. See what SGC 98s are going for. They're different prices, so don't pay PSA 10 prices for a BGS 95 or an SGC 98. Same thing with 9s. And when you get into the vintage, price is very different. Once you go past 1980, Beckett starts grading with their BVG, which is Beckett Vintage Grading. That stuff's cool, but if you sent the same card to PSA, I want to say almost 9 times out of 10, it's going to come back 1.5 to 2 grades lower than the BVG. So, for example, if you got a BVG 7, you know, you can expect that if you send the PSA, it might come back a 6, 5.5. You can bet about between 1 and 2 grades lower, usually. Not every time, but usually. So please don't make comments and argue with me about the one time it didn't happen like that. But usually it's going to be at least 1 to 2 grades lower if you send it to PSA. And as the cards get higher, you know, the same thing. You know, just if you got like a 1950 BVG 9, you know, there's a good chance it could come back a PSA 7. Can be a real nice looking card because they take into consideration the way the cards were manufactured back then, and so they basically grade them on a curve, the vintage. So if you're buying Gem or KSA or AGA or whatever, all those other, I'm sorry, oh, I keep hitting my thing, all those other crappy companies, if you're buying those, you better believe that they are probably not anywhere near the grade that it says. The exception of BCCG, which occasionally gets it right, but not always. So if you're buying those cards, make sure you buy them, you know, roughly at, I would basically buy them at raw card prices. You know, if it's a Gem Elite 10, I would buy it at raw card prices. So, you know, if the card's selling for about $7 raw, that's what I'd buy it for. So there's my advice for today. If you're buying graded, make sure it's PSA, BGS, or SGC, and make sure you're paying, you know, what you're supposed to be paying. BGS doesn't sell for as much as PSA, so you can get them cheaper. SGC, same thing. And sometimes you can cross them over to PSA, and if you do that, you know, if you bought a card selling for BGS is selling for $50 less than the PSA in the same grade, and you cross it over, you know, then you can, you know, for your $10 that it costs you to get it graded, you can you know, make $40 or whatever. But anyways, I hope this video helped you. I'm sorry I got to rambling here a little bit. I hope you guys have a great day. Check out my other videos, and make sure that you guys hit up Dan at Hard R Cards. And if anything, just watch some videos because the guy's funny and he's a cool dude. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. Hey, you have a good day. Don't forget to subscribe, like, all that crap. Okay, bye.